A video going viral on social media shows a penguin leaving its group and walking alone toward the mountains of Antarctica. Many people are relating this to human behavior, such as depression, choosing isolation, or making life-changing decisions without fear. But the reality behind this scene is very different. This clip is from the documentary Encounters at the End of the Mai World, released in the 2000s, by German filmmaker Werner Herzog. No one could have imagined that nearly 20 years later, a single scene from this documentary would become a viral sensation on social media. The lifestyle, nature, pain, and sacrifices of this innocent animal are so extreme that they are hard to believe. In 2007, German filmmaker Werner Herzog presented a scene in his documentary that, 2 decades later, has left a big unanswered question in the world of the internet. In this clip, an Adelie penguin is shown separating from its colony and walking toward the mountainous regions of Antarctica instead of the ocean. At the South Pole, the ocean is the main source of food and life for penguins. But this lone penguin was leaving food behind and walking straight toward death, a place where there was neither food nor any hope of survival. So what could be the reason behind this behavior? To understand this, we need to learn about the nature of penguins and why these creatures are forced to live hundreds of kilometers deep inside Antarctica. Antarctica is a part of Earth where nature has left almost no room for life. It is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on the planet. Winds as powerful as hurricanes are common here, and temperatures dropping to -90 degrees Celsius are considered normal. In such extreme cold, if a human body is not properly covered, it can begin freezing within just 10 seconds. Even a glass of boiling water, if thrown into the air, can freeze before it hits the ground. So the question arises, why did penguins choose such deadly cold as their home? The answer lies in their hunger and their enemies. Although the land of Antarctica is barren and deadly, the ocean surrounding it is full of life. In these freezing waters, tiny shrimp-like fish exist, in such massive numbers that they are a treasure of food for penguins. But food is not the only reason. Penguins cannot run fast, nor can they fly. If they lived in any other region, predators from forests or other animals would easily eat them or their eggs. Their good fortune is that in Antarctica's extreme cold, no other dangerous land animals can survive. That is why penguins have turned this terrifying cold into their shield. Nature has also given them the ability to survive it. Beneath a penguin's skin is a thick layer of fat called blubber, and their feathers are so dense that icy winds cannot reach their bodies. Without a doubt, Antarctica is a gift of nature for penguins. But nature gives nothing for free. If they are protected from enemies here, they must pay the price by facing death every year. In simple terms, every year penguins must pass a test of life and death. In Antarctica's frozen world, not all penguins are the same. There are 5 main species found here. The largest and heaviest, reaching up to 4 feet tall, are called emperor penguins. Next are helmet penguins, also known as chin-strap penguins, identified by the thin black line under their chin. The third species is gentoo penguins, recognized by their orange beaks and white patches on their heads. Then come macaroni penguins with their stylish yellow feathers on the head. And finally, the species seen in the viral video, the Adelie penguins, identified by the white rings around their eyes. Everywhere else in the world, when winter begins, animals and birds migrate toward warmer regions. But in Antarctica, we see the complete opposite. Almost all penguin species move away from the ocean for breeding. They do this because near the sea there is danger from leopard seals, killer whales and birds that prey on their eggs. Additionally, conditions near the sea are extremely harsh. Strong winds and waves can wash eggs away, especially during storms. Emperor penguins are the only animals that travel toward icy mountains during winter, all for the survival of their species. Every year, during the months of May and June, when winter begins, emperor penguins leave the ocean, abandon their food source, and begin traveling together in groups of thousands. Their destination is the breeding colony, the place where they themselves were born, located about 100 kilometers away from the sea. This journey is so difficult that their body energy starts to drain. They have no food along the way. And even after reaching the breeding colony, they must still survive. Once there, they select their partners. To impress the female, the male penguin makes strange sounds, pushes out his chest, moves his neck up and down, and performs dance-like movements. All of this just to continue life. And the pairing happens quickly. After mating, the female lays only 1 egg, and by this point she is completely exhausted. Throughout this entire process, no penguin has eaten anything for the past 2 months. The last food they consumed was what they ate before leaving the ocean, and they survive only on that reserve. This sacrifice is made solely to continue their species. But the male penguin makes an even greater sacrifice than the female. After the egg is laid, the female carefully transfers it to the male's feet without letting it touch the ice. And then all the females begin their journey back toward the ocean. During this time, the male penguins, already starving for 2 months, stand close together, balancing the egg on their feet, enduring violent snowstorms and temperatures as low as minus 60 degrees Celsius. For the next 2 months, the father penguin stands there without eating or drinking, without moving from his place, so the egg does not fall and freeze. By the time the mother returns, the father has lost more than half of his body weight due to starvation. By this point, before the chick hatches, all the mothers usually return. But if, for some reason, the chick hatches before the mother comes back, the male penguin produces a special milk-like substance from his throat and feeds the chick. This milk is made from the very last drops of energy left in his body. This is a father who protects a new life without caring about his own death. When the chick is about to hatch and the females return with full stomachs, they identify their partners in the breeding colony through a unique call. The females then take the egg or chick under their care, and the starving males finally begin their journey back to the ocean. Without doubt, emperor male penguins make the greatest sacrifice just to save their young. That is why they are often called the best fathers in the world. But is every male penguin this caring? Perhaps not. Among Adelie penguins, males are not famous for sacrifice. They are famous for stealing. Yes, this is the same penguin species seen in the viral video, where emperor penguins are known for sacrifice. Adelie penguins are considered the most mischievous and clever birds in Antarctica. Their nature is completely different from emperor penguins. The strangest thing about them is how they build their nests. Since there is no grass or straw on Antarctica's ice, Adelie penguins build their homes using stones. The better the nest a male builds, the higher his chances of being selected by a female. In their world, a single stone is worth no less than a diamond. But instead of working hard, male Adelie penguins often choose the path of theft. When a neighboring penguin is not watching, the Adelie male quietly sneaks over, steals stones from another nest and adds them to his own. Sometimes entire days are spent fighting over a single stone. This strange behavior shows how social and hyperactive they are. However, their system is more balanced than that of emperor penguins. Here the father does not starve alone. Both parents take turns sitting on the egg. When one goes to eat, the other guards the nest. Their breeding colonies are not as deep inland as those of emperor penguins, but even then they must travel up to 50 kilometers. So the question arises, how does such a social and intelligent animal, one that keeps track of every single stone, suddenly lose its way and walk toward death? When filmmaker Werner Herzog witnessed this scene, even he was deeply shocked. He saw a penguin separate from the crowd and start walking in the exact opposite direction. Scientists have labeled this strange behavior a psychotic breakdown. Whether human or animal, sometimes the brain's wiring simply crosses. Penguins have a built-in biological GPS in their brains that works as a natural navigation system. According to scientists, while swimming, penguins can sense the Earth's magnetic field, much like a compass. Not only that, they also use the sun's position, stars, water flow, and even smell as cues to remember direction. When they travel hundreds of kilometers back to their colony, their brain combines all these signals and guides them along the correct path. But sometimes due to a brain infection, parasites, extreme stress, or prolonged hunger, the system glitches. At that moment, the penguin no longer sees its companions or the ocean. Instead, a false direction becomes fixed in its mind. But have you ever wondered what happened to that penguin in the end? Can animals actually feel grief? Science answers this with a yes. When a penguin chick dies in Antarctica's harsh cold, the parents do not leave immediately. They stand beside their dead chick, making strange, sorrowful sounds. Sometimes, the grief becomes so overwhelming that they even try to steal other penguins' chicks to ease their emotional pain. So, is it possible that this viral penguin had lost someone it loved? Undoubtedly, science calls this behavior a neurological disorder. But to viewers, it appears that the penguin was suffering from distress or depression. When Werner Herzog filmed this clip, he did not try to save the penguin because Antarctic law forbids interfering with nature's system. That lone traveler kept walking toward the mountains until it disappeared from sight. Beyond that point lay only thousands of kilometers of ice-covered mountains. No fish, no water. That penguin likely collapsed from hunger and exhaustion and froze somewhere beneath the snow. The world of penguins teaches us many lessons. On one side is the emperor penguin, who risks his life to save a new one. On the other is the lost traveler, who leaves everything behind and walks toward an unknown destination. For stories that touch the mind and the heart, subscribe to Brain Bites.